welcome to another video. Today we're watching Animals in Space, A Brief History by Nella Academy. Yippee, let's go! Don't call them stinkies!
Hey kids, animal test subjects have always been an important facet of science, since they allow us to study physiology in more destructive ways than we could get away with on humans. So it should come as no surprise that, over the years, there's been a lot of creatures haphazardly thrown at the cosmos against their will. Here's a bunch of smelly animals that
honestly, kinda messed up. I would hate to go to space, personally. Wait, I wonder if there was a snail in space.
achieved more in their short lives than you ever will. Quick disclaimer, this is by no means a comprehensive list, not even close. We'd be here all day if it was. More so just a highlight reel of the ones I found the most interesting. So the Great Zoo in the Sky was first founded in 1947 when the US launched a craft containing a bunch of fruit flies 68 miles into the air in order to see what kind of horrible mutants would get made from all the cosmic radiation up there.
I was gonna say, like, why would you choose fruit flies of anything?
Fortunately, they were totally fine. So the Earth was like, hey, living things
What does that mean? You're the space sphere from Portal.
can go into space and not die instantly. Supple. And the next year, they decided to send up a rhesus macaque named Albert, which it seems kind of like jumping the gun to go from barely alive specks to basically a person in one step. If it were me, I would have thrown like a frog or a gerbil in between there, but whatever, I'm no cosmopolitan. Anyway, Albert died of suffocation on the way up and never really made it to space alive. Fun fact.
I hate that. Poor
This
Albert.
rocket was actually a V2 missile stolen from the Germans after World War II. So just in case any of you have any sympathy for those Nazi characters, they're technically responsible for the death of a poor innocent space monkey. Pretty condemning if you ask me. But I guess the US felt pretty bad about it, so they decided to deal with their grief by naming the next monkey Albert 2. Pretty unhealthy coping mechanism according to my shrink, but she also thinks Punk is dead, so what does she know? This Albert actually made it into space alive through a grand effort incorporating all the incredible cutting-edge technology that the atomic era had to offer. And after all that, they goofed on the parachute, so Albert 2 turned into a fine red mist on impact, which just goes
Oh my god. Oh my god.
to prove the age-old adage.
No! See, this is why, okay, I know space travel is safe now, right? I know it's safe now, but I would never want to go to space. It freaks me out so much. It freaks me out so much. You paint job, stop!
Monkey to space, but you can't make him land. There were a few more Alberts after this. Albert 3 fucking exploded. Albert 4 made it up, but he had another tissue paper parachute what don't work for heck, so he's out. Albert 5, yet again, bad shoot, liquefied on impact until
why did they keep calling them Albert?
well, finally,
No, I don't like, no, submarines are scary too.
in 1951, on Albert number 6, they figured out how to make a big blanket that consistently makes you not immediately die when you fall from the sky, and the monkey was recovered alive from the capsule alongside his 11 mouse roommates. Of course, he died 2 hours later, but hey, still counts. Earlier that same year, Russia launched 2 little pupniks named Tsigan and Dzik, both of whom came back unharmed. These 2 were the first vertebrates to ever leave Earth and come back alive. Then in 57, the Reds snagged another achievement by putting the first living thing in.
Dude, imagine you're a clueless animal, like you don't know what's going on anyway half the time, and then they just shoot you up to space. Like, what the fuck?
Into orbit, besides the bacteria clinging to Sputnik 1, but they're losers, we don't talk about them.
So,
Specifically, they launched one brave and daring dog from the streets of Moscow, probably the most famous animal to ever go into space. You know its name well. That dog is, of course, Airbud. Unlike those other
Okay.
guys we talked about, Laika was never planned to be recovered intact, since we barely knew how to put something into orbit by this time, let alone bring it back. But they still wanted to make sure she stayed alive long enough to at least reach space. So before the mission, they put her through the most rigorous canine space camp that Russia had to offer, throwing her in a centrifuge for a while to get her used to G-force, making her cage progressively smaller to get her used to cramped spaces, which made her just not shit anymore at all, but that's a different story. They also switched
so messed messed up.
Her diet to a special high nutrition gel that she would have eaten after takeoff, had her brain not crapped out from overheating within the first few hours. In 59, the US strapped 2 monkeys to the nose cone of a Jupiter missile and actually got them back alive afterwards, which is crazy mostly because these things withstood 38 Gs of acceleration. For context, that's the force that makes even trained pilots lose consciousness times 4, or
Oh
this
my
thing
God.
times 12, or roughly the same forced experience when you realize that's not a normal speed bump, but one of those evil tiny ones that ruin your life. You know the ones.
Do you guys know? I can't drive, so I don't know, to be honest. Oh yeah, Katy Perry. Wait, that's actually really on topic that Katy Perry went to space. That's actually insane. Here, those, do you guys know? Do you guys know? Hate those speed bumps so much. I can't relate. Get that driving license to girly pop. Maybe one day, but I don't need it right now because I live in the city. Maybe in the future though. Favorite God. Wait, she isn't though. NASA changed the definition. Oh, I mean, I guess she's not an astronaut, an official one, but she did go up to space, and not everyone can say that they did, right? Which speed bump do you identify with more? I don't know. I feel like usually, okay, when I'm feeling good, I'm like this one, but I'm probably more this one. Wait, what do you mean does she know? Do I know what? Do I know what? Do I know what? Number 2 is car wrecker. Number 1 is family. Oh, I'm not a family wrecker. I'm not a family wrecker. What do you mean she doesn't know? What do you mean I don't know? Hello? Don't worry about... Wait, what do you mean? I was just going off vibes. Okay. What the... What?
That's what you get for doing 25 near a hospital, Sam. Well, hey, good thing I'm already here considering the ballistics test that just went down between the roof of my car and my frickin' skull. Jesus. So in 61, we graduated from monkeys to great apes, sending up
Graduation! Like Vtuber.
a chimpanzee
Sorry.
named Ham. Remember Space Chimps? Yeah, it was that. Frame for frame, Andy Samberg and all. What's special about Ham is that he was actually trained to pull levers and slap buttons while up in the ship,
Ooh.
being rewarded banana pellets for completing tasks and getting his feet tased whenever
Hello, Kubato. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome.
he messed up. Sounds like a cartoon, I know, but I promise it's for real. Meanwhile, the Soviets were busy putting a big, bald, smart ape into orbit, no big deal. France saw the US and Russia sending up monkeys and dogs and felt left out, so in 63, they launched a cat into space and were like, yeah, that's cool and unique. I'm one of the popular kids now. In 68, the Soviets saw the rabbit making rice cakes on the moon and said, how about a tortoise for that hare, launching 2 of them into deep space, all the way around the moon and back to Earth, where they were recovered alive after their capsule landed in the ocean. Kinda cheating when you are your own crash suit, but an impressive feat regardless.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did they not think of turtles earlier? Cause like, they're like much more durable than other animals.
In 73, we put mummy chogs in space. What's a mummy chog? It's one of these things. Like a fish, but real rough and tumble. Tolerates low oxygen, weird pressure, high salinity, dishwasher safe, Energy Star
Wait, a
rated, you
fish?
name it, sister. At first they could only swim in circles, but after a couple weeks, they actually adapted to zero G and figured out how to maneuver properly. Even more interesting, we also brought mummy chog eggs, and when
What?
these hatched, the little mummy choglets knew how to swim in zero G immediately. Kinda spooky, honestly. That same mission
Wait, humans ended up exploding anyways in the space expeditions? Wait, they did?
also sent up some spiders, who managed to spin some
Oh wait, you're right. Turtles won't have much. Wait, you're correct. You're correct. They don't do much, I
webs.
guess.
Trash webs, mind you, but hey, they managed. In 78, The Muppet Show aired Pigs in Space for the first time. In 85, we cut off the arms of a bunch of newts and sent them up to see if they grow back the same way. The reasoning behind this being, if a newt can't grow stuff back, then an astronaut with a paper cut probably can't either. Fortunately, they rearmed themselves at the normal rate, so all's good on that front. Around the same time, NASA actually had talks with Sesame Street about sending Big Bird up on the space shuttle as a publicity stunt. This this is real.
How did you not know that humans blew up trying to get there? I mean, it's not really like I guess I didn't really think of it. I didn't really think about it, to be honest, but I guess it makes sense. Yeah, space is scary. I feel like a lot of people I've talked to, they're like, oh my god, I love space. It's so interesting, and I would love to go to space. And I get that, but I can't relate. Like, it's just terrifying to me.
Plan ultimately fell through after they realized Big Bird is fucking giant and unwieldy at all times. Literally the worst possible choice for a celebrity
Apollo 1, of course I heard.
cameo on a space shuttle. So instead they sent a school teacher in his place. And then the Challenger fucking exploded. Let me reiterate.
God.
There is a timeline not too far from this one where Big Bird is a casualty in the single worst astronautical disaster in history. A tiny evil part of me almost wishes that happened. Like, that's just so indescribably absurd. In the early 90s, we set up some baby jellyfish to grow up in space just for laughs. They figured out how to maneuver just fine, but when we brought them back down, they literally didn't have a concept of gravity and couldn't orient themselves properly in their new environment. Which, being a jellyfish is the easiest thing there is. You just kind of exist, maybe squirm a little now and then. So when you manage to somehow mess that up, you know things have gone seriously wrong. In 2003, the US sent up a bunch of invertebrates, including silkworms, spiders, carpenter bees, and harvester ants. Whoops, they exploded. In 2007,
What? That's interesting.
some tardigrades went up, totally exposed to the vacuum of space for 10 days,
Why'd they
which,
all
surprise,
explode?
surprise, they were fine. On that same mission, a cockroach gave birth, creating the
Ew.
first organism that we know of to ever have been conceived outside of Earth. And finally, in 2018, Elon Musk sent a big basket of mice to the International Space Station. Just, 'cause he can. So those are just a handful of God's
Bruh.
creatures who got to experience the majesty of not knowing up from down. If you're like me, you're probably a little jealous. Why does an ugly ape get to go into space, but I don't?
I am not jealous. I am so happy. I don't need to go to space. Maybe this is a silly thing to say because, of course, I don't need to go to space, right? No one does. No one has to. If you want to go to space, you really have to want to do that, if that makes sense, right? Because astronauts, they have to like study a lot and stuff, right? But yeah, I'm so happy. I don't need to go to space.
I wish to bear witness to the music of the spheres firsthand in a way that a lower creature could never appreciate.
What
You know why you
music?
feel like that?
Is there music in
Because
space?
you're a nerd. And what better way to fill that space-shaped space in your shriveled nerd heart than a vast collection of high-quality documentaries? That's why you need to try Curiosity Stream. Curiosity
Wow.
Stream was founded by the dude behind the Discovery Channel, and it's an absolute treasure trove if you're someone like me who feeds off useless knowledge like a loach sucking algae off a fish tank. And with over 2,400 titles, a lot of which are Curiosity Stream exclusives, it'd be hard not to find something that interests you. I personally recommend Deep Ocean, The Lost World of the Pacific. There's
Oh
some
my
freaky
god.
things.
This man, Salmonella, he just loves everything that I'm afraid of. The ocean,
Down there, like
space,
basically
what the
aliens.
heck?
The whole thing is just one massive trip. You can get unlimited access to their full library for just $2.99 a month. I know it's a cliche, but that's literally less than a cup of Starbucks coffee a month. Also, you can get your first 30 days completely free if you sign
There
up
you
at
go,
curiositystream.com/salmonella and use promo code salmonella during the sign-up process.
I've
Anyway, that's all
always
for
used
today.
this to watch
Till next
CG
time,
Cup
I'm
videos.
Salmonella, and I still don't know what Ligma is.
Lick my balls. Yippee! Thank you. All right. Everyone, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Please like the original video and subscribe to Salmonella as well. And if you want to watch me live on Twitch, you can do that. Wait, yeah, you can do that. At 6 p.m. Central European Time usually. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.